Welcome back, everybody. In the last video, we finally understood how Kubernetes storage binding actually works. Persistent volumes, persistent volume claims, storage classes, and how Kubernetes matches them together behind the scenes. We even saw something very important: why a PVC can stay pending even when everything looks correct. But today, we intentionally break everything. Because honestly, you don't truly understand Kubernetes storage after one successful binding. You understand it when you diagnose why binding failed. And trust me, this is exactly why many beginners panic in CKA and in real production. PVC stuck pending, pod not starting, events showing weird messages, YAML looks correct, but nothing works. And today, we are going to learn how to think like Kubernetes. Before we jump into the failures, let me give you one more example. And this one will make PV/PVC binding unforgettable. Imagine a cowboy trying to catch a cow from a massive farm. But this is not a normal farm. All cows are categorized into groups based on color: white group and brown group. And every cow has got fixed properties. Some cows produce milk, some are very playful, and some are purely aesthetic looking. Also, they come in different sizes, 1G to 100G. So every cow is a real resource with fixed properties. Now the cowboy decides what kind of a cow he wants. Let's say brown category, size 7G or higher, and purpose is to milk the cow. So he writes all these properties on a request paper and keeps it in his pocket. Then he throws a magical Kubernetes rope, and this rope only catches a cow if all conditions match. So first, a rope filters out every cow that is not brown. And only after filtering the brown cows, it starts checking the remaining conditions. Is the size 7G or larger? Does the cow produce milk? So if the rope finds a milk cow smaller than 7G, it ignores it. A 7G cow meant to play, ignored. A white milk cow, ignored again. Because Kubernetes matching is very strict. All conditions must match. And if the cowboy forgets to mention the category or color, the farm automatically assigns the default category to it. Exactly like Kubernetes assigning the default storage class. The category whose is default class is set to true gets automatically selected for that request. So how does all this maps to Kubernetes? Cowboy is the pod. Cow is the persistent volume. Request paper, persistent volume claim. Cow category or color is the storage class. And the rope is the Kubernetes binding logic. Now let's go back into the lab and intentionally make Kubernetes fail. Because one failed deployment can teach you more than 1,000 successful ones. And in this video, we are going to fail 3 different times and on purpose. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to troubleshoot PVC binding problems in a CKA and real production environments. Let's look at failure number 1. This time, we are going to create a mismatch between the storage classes of PV and PVC. Everything else may look correct, but Kubernetes checks the storage class first. So we will change the storage class first and keep all the other values the same in PVC. And here, manual storage is not equal to fast storage. So Kubernetes immediately rejects the match. PVC stays pending. And this is one of the most common reasons beginners get stuck. Let's run kubectl describe command on this PVC. Look under the events. There, Kubernetes clearly tells us no matching storage class was found. And hence, it stays in pending state. Let's look at another failure. This time, we are going to go for size mismatch. This time, storage class matches, access mode matches, but now the requested size is larger than what PV can provide. Our PVC is requesting 20 gigs. But PVC can only provide 5 gigs of space max. So Kubernetes says, I cannot satisfy this request and PVC remains pending. And notice something important in kubectl describe command. The error message is not always super clear. Sometimes Kubernetes only says, waiting for first consumer, which is why understanding the matching logic matters more than memorizing error messages. Now let's look at failure 3. This time, we are going to mismatch the access modes. Now let's break the final condition. Storage class matches, size matches, but access class does not match. PV access mode is read-write once, and PVC access mode is read-write many. So even though 2 conditions are passed, one mismatch is enough to stop the entire binding. And that's exactly how Kubernetes thinks. We know that the PVC has not bounded with any PV yet, but let's create a pod anyway and see what happens. Because many people only notice the problem from the pod side. Create pod. Notice the pod is stuck in pending. Why? Because the pod depends on PVC, and PVC itself could not bind to a PV. So failure actually started much earlier in the chain. Pod, PVC, PV. And that is the real Kubernetes mindset. When something fails, you don't just stare at YAML. You trace the dependency chain. Pod depends on PVC, PVC depends on PV, and PV matching depends on storage class, size, access mode. So with this video, you didn't just learn persistent volumes. You learned how Kubernetes makes the storage decisions. And now, when a pod stays pending, you won't panic anymore. You will investigate. You will troubleshoot. You will think like Kubernetes. And trust me, once this clicks, PVC binding logic stops feeling like magic and starts feeling completely logical. And now that storage is finally conquered, the next big question becomes, how do pods actually talk to each other? So in the next video, we enter Kubernetes networking, cluster IP, node port, services, ingress, gateway API. And this is where Kubernetes starts feeling like a real distributed system. If this series is genuinely helping Kubernetes finally make sense to you, like the video, share it with someone struggling with Kubernetes, and subscribe, please. Because we are not just memorizing Kubernetes here, we are understanding it. And I'll see you in the next one.